So this is another video on a bit of a test route, like I did the other day. The only difference this time, I'm going to intentionally make some faults. I'm going to make sure they're all minor faults though. I'm not going to do anything dangerous. I'm just going to do any minor faults and basically mention them after I do them. So, the examiner's going to say at this point, as you get in the car, the test is going to last about 40 minutes. And include various types of driving conditions, different types of roads, for example. And if you could please follow the road ahead at all times, unless road signs or road markings direct you otherwise. If I want you to turn left or right, I'll do so in good time. So it's going to include about 20 minutes of independent driving, which in this case is going to be following the sat-nav. But like I said, could also be following some road signs, but today we're following the sat-nav. It's going to include one reversing manoeuvre and possibly an emergency stop. But on this I'm not going to do the emergency stop because I can't really be checking round over my shoulder like examiner would do. So I'm not going to do the emergency stop on this video. So yeah, so I'm going to drive off when I'm ready. So, car secure, clutch down, turn the engine on. I'm putting it into first gear, so I'm ready to go. I'm just checking my mirror. I've got some cars coming behind me, so I'm just going to wait for them because I'm mindful it's a 50-mile-an-hour road this, so they're going to come up quite fast and there's a really big gap to be able to pull out. So I have got another car behind. He's quite far back, but he's going to catch up quite quickly. There he goes. There is another one behind, but he's really far back. Let's check my mirrors and then signal, and off we go. So just spot the first fault there. So there, I didn't really check my blind spot properly. So that would be a minor fault.
Turn left, the pavilions, then you have reached your destination.
So sorry, just ignoring this for the moment because this is taking me back to the test centre, which is just on the left here. I'm going to go past the test centre.
Turn left, then you have reached your destination.
And then the sat-nav will calculate the route for me. So I'm now looking at the sat-nav. Looks like it's going left of the roundabout. Mirrors, signal left. Notice I'm not waiting for her to say.
Turn left on the roundabout and take the first exit, Lordship Road, then take the second right.
Because sometimes she'll say too
arrive
late.
At your destination at 11:30 a.m.
So yeah, so sometimes she'll say too late the
After
sat-nav.
200 yards, turn right.
Now this is what the examiner would say to you, just ignore what the sat-nav's saying here, it's going to be confused, just keep following the road ahead. So you can see it's just a bend this is,
Bear
just a
right,
brake for the lorry.
Lordship Road.
So it's just bending around the road like this, so the sat-nav's thinking this is a right turn, but it's just following the road. My middle and right mirror for anyone overtaking. There is the van coming in distance, but he's further enough away to not cause a problem. So I'd now like you to find a safe place to pull up on the left, somewhere along this road. Okay, so mirrors, signal left, this car behind this little purple loaner car. A little bit closer to the curb. Back here's 101B. Center stopping, handbrake on, neutral, cancel signal. Thank you, drive on when you're ready. Right, so this time I'm going to remember to check my blind spot. So I've got the cars behind me, I'm just going to let them pass. There's a silver BMW, then a black Mercedes. There is then another car, he's quite far back, but he's a bit speedy, so I'm just going to make sure I know what he's doing. Just going to go neutral as well for a second, just relax my feet, there is now a red car as well coming. Also, I'm trying not to stare just to the mirror, I'm looking also ahead as well. So there's red car passing, so mirrors, blind spot this time, and I will signal just because there's a little bit of traffic around. But like I said, it's important I wasn't just looking at my mirror when I was pulling away, I was also looking ahead. So if cars coming ahead towards me, they'll stop the traffic behind from overtaking. So that could be my opportunity to pull away. So I'm just giving way to this oncoming van. And leaning around the van to see better. Off the silver one I'm good. So mirrors, little check over the shoulder and off I go. Village now, so speed limit's increasing. Oh no, it hasn't said actually, so let's slow that down to 30. So that's a minor there. I was speeding up too soon, it hadn't said the speed limit's changed yet, so it's still 30, there's a reminder. Because I reacted very quickly, it's just a minor. So I'm just sticking to 30, just covering the brake for this car in case he pulls out. Here's the speed limit change, so mirrors, check for anyone overtaking, then gently on the gas to build speed. It's national speed limit now, 60 miles per hour, but it's not a speed target, it's a speed limit. Just keeping my distance from this van. Particularly it's got stuff in the back of his van in case something falls off the back of his van. Or it's likely, because of his speed, he might be turning soon, but it might also be because he's got stuff in the back of the van, he's going slightly slower than you might expect. He's doing about 40 miles an hour, and I might expect him to be going slightly faster than that. I'm doing about 40 miles an hour, and the road's quite straight and flat, so this car can take gear 5 at that speed. Not all cars can, but this one's quite happy in gear 5 at 40, as long as the road's quite straight and flat. I'm currently just doing about 45 miles an hour at the moment, just keeping my distance from the truck in front, so that's going to dictate my speed, the vehicle in front. Checking my mirrors, got a bit of a bend here. Looking ahead, I can see some white fence posts. That normally means there's a speed limit change. There's white fence posts either side. Now it's a 30, some mirrors. I'm gently slowing my speed, looking to get to 30 by the time I reach the sign. Now I'm at 30.
After 400 yards, turn right, Tar Road.
Change gear. That might be a minor for gears, but possibly not. But that could potentially give you a minor for gears there. Just a bit late in changing down gears.
Turn right.
So mirrors, signal right. I'm just going to go do gear 1 here just to make sure it's clear ahead, because I can't see over the brow of the hill. And we've got a national speed limit sign here. But yeah, like I said, the thing with the gears, they might give you the minor for that, maybe not. So ideally, you should be changing down gears once you've slowed speed. Once you go into the 30, you should change gears. So I was just sitting in gear 5. So as soon as I got into that 30, it was just struggling. So notice the fault here. Slow at the moment. I'm doing about sort of 34 miles an hour, so it's a little bit slow, so I'm going to shut my mirrors and build speed. If it would stay at that speed for too long, it could become more of a problem. So I'm now doing about 40, which is fine. I'm not national speed, I'm not looking to get to 60, I'm not looking for that, because the road's quite narrow, it's also not in great condition. So about 40 is about fine, but 30 is a bit slow. Here I'm just going to get to about 45, it's a bit straighter now, and the road's a bit better condition here. So the bend coming up, should check my mirror. I've got my car block, man, it's quite far back, so it's not really any problem for me when I brake a little bit here for this bend. Just doing about 45, 50 here. Use my brake to control the speed as it goes downhill. I've got slow on the road here.
Yards, go left on the roundabout and take the first exit, A264.
So have a look at the sat nav, not just relying on the voice. It's left first exit looking at the sat nav. So I've still got slow on the road, so this is for the roundabout coming up, you can see. So I'm going to signal left.
Go left on the roundabout and take the first exit.
Checking to my right. After these two, I'm good to go. So notice the fault there. me not checking my mirrors before signalling, so we always check our mirrors before we signal, just so we know what's behind us, because it could affect our braking when we're slowing for the junction. If, for example, there's someone close behind, we want to know about that. Or for example, if someone's overtaking, that's going to affect the way we do the junction. If someone overtook before the junction, pretty dangerous, but we want to be aware of it and be able to react to it at the time that does, if that does happen ever. So currently it's about 60 miles an hour. It's a 70 mile an hour road, because there's no speed limit change, it's still national speed limit. Well, so there's no speed limit change, it's 60 on the last road national speed limit, this is now 70 because it's dual carriageway, and there's been no signs to change the speed limit, because it's still national speed limit, it's just a different speed, it's a different type of road. So I'm just looking at the sat nav, not waiting for the voice.
Right on the roundabout and take the second exit,
Okay, so right on the roundabout, so check my mirrors, signaling right, checking the blind spot. There is a silver Audi coming up behind me, but he's not a problem. He's a little bit faster, but he's quite far back. So I'm going to mirrors and signal right. The 3 marker is normally quite a good time to do it. So turning right, second exit, so looking at the sat nav to confirm that. Here's my brakes to slow.
And take the second exit.
Clutch down now and into gear 2, checking right ahead, it's all clear to go. So second exit is the first exit. So after this one, I'm looking to move across. So mirrors, signal left, mirrors, blind spot, it's safe to move across to the left lane. If it wasn't safe, I could always come off in the right lane. You don't have to come off in the left lane. But if you do come off in the right lane, make sure you switch back over to the left when it's safe to. Like you might have noticed, this car in front of me did the greeny sort of car, light green car in front of me, the Fiat 500. So what I'm currently doing at the moment would be a fault for eco-safe driving. So I'm in gear 4, doing 60 miles an hour, which is using fuel. It's wasting fuel, which is revving the engine, wasting fuel.
Go left on the roundabout and take the first exit, Russell Road.
So left on the roundabout, first exit. But that eco-safe driving doesn't get marked down as a proper fault, it's more just advice they give you.
Go left on the roundabout and take the first exit.
So gently on the brakes, clutch down now, gear 2, checking right. We're good. So new road, new speed, it's 30 miles per hour, cancelling the signal.
After 200 yards, cross the roundabout and take the third exit, Gibbets Way, then turn left.
So I'm noticing the icon says straight at the top of the sat nav, but I'm looking at the map, it's actually to the right the turn. So turning right, third exit. So mirrors, signal right.
Cross the roundabout and take the third exit, then turn left.
The examiners might advise you about this. If the sat nav's a bit confusing the way it's giving the instruction, they might advise you and just give you a bit of a hint, a bit of help. So mirrors, signal left as it comes off to make sure it's safe. And new road, we've got restrictions for lorries, so no lorries over 7.5 tonnes except for loading. So I'm seeing there's a turn to 140 yards, so I'm not going to change gear.
Yards, turn left, go towards cops,
So
then
signal goes on.
take the second right.
A little bit of brake, it's quite hard to see around the corner, so I'm just going to into. And you notice the fault there? No, it wasn't the gear. Oh no, it was already into, I just realised that, and I went from 2 to 2. It's the fact I didn't check my mirrors before signalling. Could you now pull up on the left just before this parked vehicle? Yep, so mirrors,
After
signal
100
left.
yards, turn right, then at the
Just
end
get
of
a
the
little
road,
bit closer,
turn left.
just give yourself room to pull away, that'd be great there. Okay, just a routine stop to show us you can stop and start in different situations. This is an example, getting to pull away from behind a parked car. So, and then drive on when you're ready. So checking my mirrors, I'm going to make sure I check my blind spot this time. And then signal on. It's not essential to signal, but I'm going to do it just because in case a car comes, no harm in doing it. So now looking at the sat nav, it looks like it's going round to the right. Again, the examiners might advise you here because it's not particularly clear on the sat nav, so mirrors signal
Turn
right.
right, go towards cops, then at the end of the road, turn left.
Watching the pedestrians on the right, particularly because there's a dog and a child there. But the dog's on the lead and the girl's holding her mum's hand, so not too much of an issue.
North Heath Lane.
So into gear 3, got a parked vehicle here, anyone to give way to, I can't see around the corner, just covering brake, be ready to stop. No, I'm good, so mirrors and coming around the parked car. So end of the road, it's turning left.
turn left.
So mirrors, signal. I'm going to make sure I really check my mirrors this time. Because if the same minor fault happens too many times, it can then become a serious fault, because it's just showing you're not doing it, it's not a habit. So after this blue car I'm going to go, because there's a nice gap. Checking my mirrors, because if someone's coming up fast behind me, I want to make sure I speed up more so I don't slow them down. Just keeping on the sat nav. The next one's in next junctions in 500 yards, so it's fairly close. So always be mindful, because I'm in a built-up area. I know the junctions will be quite close. When I'm on the countryside, the junctions will be quite far apart, so I don't have to be as aware of the sat nav.
Cross the roundabout and take the second exit, North Heath Lane.
But this is all why it's slower speed limits in town, so everything's closer together. And you have to be at speed to be able to deal with that. So we've got traffic lights changing. So I'm going to start braking for the traffic lights. Now again, a minor fault here for mirrors. I didn't check my middle mirror before slowing for the traffic lights. Particularly because I was going from 30 down to 0, so I was slowing quite significantly. So here's the roundabout. You can see the blue sign for it. It's quite hard to spot this one. Conceals the road markings, but like I said, quite hard to spot that roundabout. Now I've got a 20 speed limit here, so mirrors. Oh no, wait, my instructor says that's not a speed limit, that's advanced. Only when lights are flashing, you know, because I'm going back to 30. So that could be a minor there for speed, because I was going down to 20, because I saw the sign that says max 20.
After 300 yards, cross the roundabout and take the second exit, Wimblehurst Road.
But if you read the whole sign, it says max 20 when lights show, so it's just during school times. So I'm doing 30 at the moment. So here's the roundabout, you can see the blue sign, also see the bollards here, the cones, so it gives me a bit of a clue. So I'm going ahead of the roundabout, watching the silver car on the right, some mirrors, a little bit of brake.
And take the second exit.
Clutch down now and into gear 1, because I'm going to have to give way to these cars on the right. So after this green Volkswagen, I'll be okay to go. Little look left, yep, just make sure they're all stopping for me. Got a staggered junction coming up. First one on the right, then on the left. As in mean the junctions, first junction on the right, then on the left. Even I think they've done the wrong sign then. The first junction's on the left, then it's on the right, so they used the wrong sign there. And could you find a safe place to pull up on the left? Yep, let's make sure I check my mirrors this time. So mirrors, signal left. I was going to go so these bushes are, so I'm not blocking any driveways. So I'm just going to go just this next section here. So I'm going to try and stop just here, so I'm just about okay. I'm just about okay from that junction. Ideally could have stopped a little bit earlier or gone further down, but I'm just about further enough away from that junction. It should be 10 metres, so I think I'd just about get away with that. And then drive on when you're ready. So mirrors, I've got the car oncoming, so they're going to block the vehicle behind me, but I think this vehicle behind is now going to go round me. Yep, so I'll let them go round me. I've now got these oncoming vehicles, so they're going to block the cars behind, so I'm going to get my feet ready. Have gas and bikes pointing, first gear, mirrors, blind spot, signal. I'm using the oncoming cars as a blocker, because then the car behind me can't pull away, they can't go round me, so I'm using that as oncoming vehicles as a blocker to be able to go. So mirrors and changing up gear.
After 200 yards, turn left, B2237, North Parade, then take the second left.
So turn left, then take the second left, okay.
Turn left, then take the second
mirrors
left.
and signal left. This is where the examiner might step in and say, just advise you, it's turn left, then turn left at the next set of traffic lights. Because the sat nav's giving us a slightly confusing instruction here. So checking right for anyone jumping the lights. It's classing this building here as a turn-in, which I don't know if you'd really class as a turn-in, so it's turning left at these traffic lights.
Turn left,
so mirrors on the brakes, so it's a red light.
Hurst Road.
And into gear 1. So, and that can be a minor there for perhaps my moving off control, because it's a bit jolty. I brought my clutch up really too quickly there. So mirrors and into gear 3. Got a pedestrian crossing, so scanning either side of the crossing to check for anyone pressing the button when anyone going to cross the road, because people do cross the road without pressing the button, as I'm sure you know, I'm sure you've done it all before. So mirrors and then coming to the right. parked vehicle, slowing a bit because I'm not sure there's room. I'm just going to wait for these red cars to pass. There's no point in pulling through as I've got a nice gap coming up because it's a little bit tight to pull through. So again, cross pedestrian crossing here, scanning either side, so no one at the crossing. So I've got the parked van up here, it's checking my mirrors. And just coming a little bit to the right to be able to come around the van.
After 300 yards, go left on the roundabout and take the first exit, B2195,
and then
North Street.
around the parked vehicles. So turning left around a B2195. So I was 2B1295, but I'm going left. So B2195, quite a lot of numbers there. So it's turning left. So mirrors, signal left. A little bit of brake.
Go left on the roundabout and take the first exit.
Am I okay to go? Oh, it's still there. So that'd be a minor there because I didn't change down gears. I was too busy looking to the right, working out if it's safe or not to go, and didn't change down gears, so it's stalled. So that's a minor there. It's not a serious fault. Because I dealt with it, it's stalled, and I restarted the engine and got on with it. It's just a minor.
Cross the roundabout and take the third exit, B2195, Harwood Road.
So again, here the examiner might advise you here just to help you. They just say just follow the road. For the moment, just keep following the road.
And take the third exit.
And just follow the road round to the right here. Just follow it round to the right, then look for Crawley. Come round here, it's the next exit for Crawley. Okay, so mirrors, signal left, so I can see Crawley on the sign. And I'm currently 30 miles an hour, so I'm just going to stay at 30. I'm going to go into gear 4 now, because it's a nice straight bit of road, and this car is okay in gear 4 at 30. Again, some cars aren't. Some cars prefer gear 3 at 30. So we noticed the fault here. Speed limit changed to 40 when I came off that last junction, that last roundabout.
And take the third exit, B2195, Harwood Road.
So this is just a minor for speed. I'm currently doing 30 on a 40 road. So I can see the speed limit changing to 30 at the roundabout. It says straight, but I'm going to treat it as a right. An examiner might advise you of this. The mirrors signal right. This is you more treat this as a right really, because the exit's actually past 12 o'clock on the clock face round to the right. So that's the first exit. That's the second exit. See, it's more round to the right. So mirrors signal left.
Take the exit, B2195.
New road, new speed limit's 40. So this time I noticed the speed limit sign. So I'm going to go to gear 3. It's a nice clear straight road ahead. So now I'm going to go to gear 4. I'm now doing 40 miles per hour. Yeah, back there of course I was doing 30 on a 40 road. It's not going to be a foul that necessarily. I know it's quite a little bit below the speed limit, but the examiners are aware, they're running your tests, they're really a bit nervous, you don't want to make a mistake. And anyone can just miss the speed limit sign, so they're often use discretion, they might just put it down as a minor. So it's not illegal, it's not dangerous doing 30 on a 40 road. So I'm in 30 miles an hour speed limit here, I'm in gear 4, so that's fine for this road, for this speed.
After 300 yards, turn right, Forest Road.
So we're actually going to end the independent driving there, so just ignore the sat nav. This is where the examiner would then probably turn the sound off. I'm going to direct you for the moment, just keep following the road ahead. First, follow the road ahead of the traffic lights, please. So mirrors, and gently on the brakes for the traffic lights. And the lights are then changing, just scanning to the left and right. So you might notice I didn't change down gears. That probably wouldn't be a minor, because it the car kind of got away if it didn't really struggle too much. I was doing gear 4 at 20 there, so should really have dropped down to gear 2 or 3. And take the next road on the left, please. So, mirrors, signal left. So that could be a minor for gears. I was trying to go around that corner in gear 4 and the car just really didn't like it. It's really struggling. And could you pull up on the left in a safe place? Okay, so mirrors, signal left. Yeah, it'll be fine just after the driveway. It's a nice clear stretch of road. I can see both ahead and behind quite well, so I can see and be seen. And there's no yellow line, so it's perfect. It's not illegal. It's perfectly legal to park here. So this is where the examiner would now put away the sat nav. And I'm going to direct you as normal from now, there, say. So just follow my instructions. So remember, just follow the road ahead at all times. If I want you to turn left or right, I'll let you know in plenty of time. Okay, so thank you. Drive on when you're ready. So mirrors, line spot, and off we go. So what was the fault there? Well, how did that red car know I was pulling away? That'd be a minor there for signalling. I needed to signal right there to pull away, because that red car would have really benefited from that, just so they knew I was pulling away, so there's no surprises. So mirrors and going around the parked vehicle. At the end of the road, turn left. Okay, so mirrors and signal left. Left and right. We're all good. Just taking a lot of caution that one, because my vision to the right is very poor. I could barely see to the right. So something could possibly come from the right very quickly, and I've got to be able to react to it and stop, because I've got to give way to them. And take the second road on the left. So this is the first road. The second one's just before the shops here. Okay, so mirrors, signal left. Gently on the brakes, clutch down. Gear 1 here. And the mirrors and coming around the parked vehicles. And could you pull up and left just after this silver car? Okay, so mirrors and signal. Don't worry if you're near the bend or near the junction, that's fine on this occasion. Okay, that'll be fine there, thank you. Okay, thank you, and then drive on when you're ready. Mirrors, line spot, just pop a signal on. So I can't really see around the corner ahead here, so I don't know what's coming around the corner, so it's best just put a signal on. Mirrors and coming around the parked vehicle. At the end of the road, turn right. Mirrors, signal right. Gently on the brakes, clutch fully down. Into gear 1, and then we're safe to go. Oh. I stalled there, just jumped off the clutch, and I didn't press any gas. So just a minor there for stalling. So like I said, I didn't press any gas, and I just jumped off the clutch, came off the clutch too quickly. But because I restarted it calmly and I got going calmly, then it's fine. It's just a minor. If I would have been sitting there turning right here, would have been sitting there worrying about it and been sitting there too long trying to sort the problem out, or if I panicked and then took too long to restart the car, or maybe I panicked and then stalled another 2 or 3 times at that junction, that's when we could have a problem. We're looking to drive like a driver, not like a learner. If we drive like a learner, we're going to end up as a learner at the end of the test. If we drive like a driver and deal with our problems, then we're going to be a driver at the end of the test, i.e. you're going to pass your test. So the traffic lights, turn left. Okay, so mirrors, signal left. Gently on the brakes. And stopping just here. Oh, I forgot to press the clutch down there, so I'm going to restart the car. And even though that's the 3rd time I've stalled, it's not a serious fault yet, because it's all happening for different reasons. And the examiner will be aware that you might be nervous, so you might make little mistakes. As long as it's safe, like that, it didn't cause any danger to anyone. I also got the car restarted confidently. Let the bike overtakes, then check my mirrors for any more bikes, make sure my signal's on, and turning left. So with the bus here, so the road's slightly narrow, some mirrors, and just covering my brake, just going to trickle past them nice and slow, particularly as well bear in mind, when people get off the bus, what if they want to cross the road? Have you ever walked behind the bus and stepped behind the bus to cross the road? I'm sure you probably know, if you haven't done, I'm sure you know people do. I've seen people that do, so we've got to be going slow past the buses in case someone steps out in front of you. So mirrors. And of course I'm sure you can guess, if someone steps out from behind a bus on your test and you don't react to it, that's certainly going to be a fail. Hitting a pedestrian doesn't tend to get looked at too kindly on a driving test. So I can see a speed limit changing here. It's a national speed limit. Also notice the red on the road, a red patch on the road. If you ever see a red patch on the road, it normally means like a speed limit change, or often to slow down for something. So it means some sort of thing you have to do with your speed if you see a red patch of tarmac on the road. So I'm currently in gear 4, doing 40 miles an hour. And looking at the road signs ahead, the road's narrowing to the right. They've got deer for 3 miles and horse riders, mounted horse riders. Mounted horses, I should say. Because horse riders are mounted, that's what a horse rider is. Mounted horses. So slow on the road, so mirrors and off the gas a bit. Just letting the car roll along here, so it's going downhill. Now back on the gas gently. And mirrors, I'm going to change down to gear 3 because it's quite a tight bend. It's always best to just drop down a gear for the tight bends. Gear 3 is a really good gear for tight bends on the country roads. Gear 4 is more just for your cruising gear, for driving in a straight line when the road's fairly flat. So now I'm going to get to gear 4. Now the road's flattened out a bit and it's quite straight for a while. So the road's bending around to the right in the distance, so check my mirrors. And this I'm going to stay in gear 4 intentionally, just to show you the difference, or try to explain the difference, because you won't be able to obviously feel it on the camera, but I'll try to explain the difference. I'm in gear 4 and it's kind of still slow, it's still a good speed to go around this corner, but now I'm pulling away, my foot's fully down to the floor on the gas, and it's just not really building speed very nicely. So it's just struggling a little bit. And in other cars, it really wouldn't like it even more. This car kind of just about gets away with it. So I'm currently doing 40 miles an hour in gear 4. About 45 now. The car is probably supposed to change up to gear 5, but I'm not going to because I've got the bends coming up. I want to stay in the lower gears for the bends. Gear 5 is mainly really often for dual carriageways and motorways, or if you have a really long stretch of road on these country roads. So currently doing 45, just covering the brakes. What's around the corner? We don't know anything. Now we know it's clear, some mirrors, and gently on the gas. And it gets to 50 miles an hour. Now I'm going to go to gear 5. I'm at 50, and also the road's much straighter now. Because there's no sharp bends for quite a bit of distance. Also, the road's quite flat. So we use our high gears, nice long, straight, flat bits of road. So looking ahead, I can see some white fence posts, which means speed limit change, some mirrors, and it's going down to 30. So I'm currently doing 35. And then down to 30. I'm noticing I got slow on the road. And I've got it twice, so it's warning me of something to be really careful of. Now it's a crossroads, look, the sign pops up as well here. So watching out for people pulling out from the crossroads, checking my mirror, checking the junction on the right near the pub, near the junction on the left, also off gas a touch then, going near the brake just in case I need the brake. Because when of course you're approaching, you're going past a junction, if something pulls out, what pedal are you going to need to use? Oh, the brake. So when you're going past a junction, particularly ones that warning you of, just come off the gas a bit and go near your brake, just so you're more ready. Your foot being near that brake is going to save you a second or two of reaction time. Your foot's already on the correct pedal, you're not going to have to come off the gas and switch to the brake. and that few seconds reaction time could save you. So I can see some red on the road here, it's for a speed limit change, and it's going to national speed limit, so mirrors, gently on the gas, building speed, going up to 40 miles an hour now. I'm in gear 3, but I'm going to stay in gear 3 because the road's got a reasonably tight bend here and I can't see around the corner. Now doing 45 miles an hour, I'm quite aware the engine's revving, I know better than the engine. So now the road's straightening out, now I'm going to check mirrors and go to gear 4. Yeah, I know better than the engine. The car doesn't know there's a bend coming up. The car doesn't know the road's going uphill. So don't always rely on what the car says on the dashboard. If it says to change up gear, you've got to read the road yourself and decide if that's appropriate. So I'm now doing about 45 to 50 miles an hour in gear 5. Watching a junction on the left, just off gas a touch, just in case I need to brake. Some oncoming vehicles here, another learner car, possibly on their driving test. And currently doing 50 miles an hour, got the bend coming up here, so checking my mirrors. I'm just coming off the gas at about 45 miles an hour for this bend, so it's not too sharp this bend. Got a pedestrian in the road here, so mirrors. On the brakes. Down to gear 3. In the right mirror, just coming round here, I'm giving him a bit of space. Of course, having to slow there, firstly not to scare the pedestrian, but also imagine there's a big lorry coming towards me. I wouldn't be able to steer around the pedestrian, there's a big lorry coming towards me. What would I have had to done? Well, I might have had to slow down and stop potentially. So I want a bit of speed so I can do that. Now I'm noticing these yellow strips in the road that to slow me down for something, make me aware of my speed. So what's it for? So it's a 30 road. So if you see the yellow strips in the road, make it all bumpy, just slow a bit and just think about why they're there, what are they slowing you for. So I'm now doing 30 miles an hour, so I'm going to go to gear 4, which will be fine in this car. Give him way. And I've got the tanker here, so just checking my mirrors, starting to brake. Can't see around them, so I'm going to slow down quite a lot until I can see what's oncoming. So there is an oncoming van, so I'm going to let them pass because they've got priority. After this black van there, it appears to be clear. It's just leaning around them, checking my right mirror, I'm going to come around now. Just come around with caution in case there's someone in front of the tanker. A safe place to pull up on the left. Okay, so mirrors signal left. There is a white line here, but you're allowed to stop on the white lines. It's not illegal, it's not a yellow line. Oh, just touched the curb there. So, secure the car, cancel the signal, thank you, drive on when you're ready. So into first gear, mirrors and blind spot, pop a signal for the oncoming cars. I learned from earlier. I need to tell the oncoming vehicles what I'm doing. So mine are there just for my parking, it's got too close to the curb. Often talking to people, I find that often they get a bit worried about the cars behind, while the road's narrow, trying to make space for other road users and other cars. But bear in mind, the road's built to fit 2 cars on it. So, as long as you're reasonably close to the curb, cars can still get round you. Now, we've got the test centre come off and right here, but we're not going to go to the test centre yet, we haven't done our manoeuvre. So they could do this on a driving test, just keep following the road ahead, please. So 50 mile an hour speed limit. And I'd like to take the next road on the left, just come up just round this corner into the car park. So it's just round this corner. Just coming up quite soon, just round this corner. It's just coming up soon, it's just here, oh here. So that could be a minor there. Because the examiner's trying to give you a clue the turn's coming up soon, but I wasn't reacting, I wasn't slowing to to be aware of that. So just turn into the car park here, and if you could just come to a stop for a second just for me. Okay, thank you. So, now I'd like to do what we're going to do, a reverse exercise. I'd like to reverse park into any space in the car park ending between the lines. So drive on when you're ready. Okay. So I'm going to go for one of these spaces on the left here. That's the way I like to do it. Check my left mirror. I'm going to come over to the left, get near the bays. So I'm going to line up some sort of almost blocking my target bay, which is one just here. So I'm going to do what people might know as a 45-degree bay park. A lot of people get taught to do a 90-degree bay park, but you can do whatever you want as long as you end up in the bay. So checking the bay, checking the mirrors and over my shoulder. I'm going to swing out. And I'm going to straighten up at this sort of angle into reverse gear. I can't see the lines. I'm going to move my mirrors down so I can see the lines. Checking round, and we're safe to go. So steering left towards the bay. I'm getting a little bit closer to the line on that side. Just going to straighten the wheels up, and then steer back. And the examiner at this point might say, "Are you happy if you're parking? If it looks like you're unsure." No, I'm not. I'm not in the lines. I'm going to move this mirror here because I can't see what it's like on this side. I can't see a line that side. I can see a line that side, so I'm really far from the line that side, and I can't see a line this side, so I think I'm on this line. So I'm going to do a correction to fix that. So I'm just going to wait for this to see silver van's going. I'm going to pull out, turn left because I want to go more that way. Once I've turned left, I'm then going to steer right to straighten the car. I'm in the car straight, then straighten the wheels. I'm going to readjust my mirrors a bit so I can see a bit better where the lines are. There's no time limit here, so take your time, make sure you're happy with what you're doing. So having a good check round, we're all good to go. Got a little bit more space to the right, so I'm going to steer a little bit to the right. Behind me, going to straighten up, and then I'll steer a little bit to the left to straighten the car out. Now the car's straight, I'm going to straighten my wheels, checking behind me. Notice I'm not using this mirror here to see what's behind me, because that doesn't give you a true judgment of the distance. I'm looking over my shoulder. Notice I have one hand on the wheel. That's perfectly okay to do. You can have one hand on the wheel when you're reversing. It's in the highway code. Okay, thank you. And then drive on when you're ready. Okay, so I'll move my mirrors, because remember the examiner says drive on when you're ready. So if you need to do something like move mirrors, take your time to do that. Don't feel you have to rush off. And then at this point you'll then go back to the test centre. But because I'm not actually going to go into the test centre, I'm just going to drive into one of these bays. So imagine you're in the test centre now. The examiner's now going to say to you, just drive forwards into one of these bays here just to finish off. It's not a manoeuvre. At this point you've already done your manoeuvre, the reverse bay park, so don't worry if you're not perfectly in the bay. Okay, thank you. So secure the car, switch engine off, make yourself feel comfortable, and give me a few minutes. And that's the end of the test, and I'm pleased to tell you you've passed. And then there were some minor faults. I don't know how many there were because I haven't been counting in my head, but I believe I've done enough, well, not enough to be able to fail. Because basically to fail you have to get over 15 minors. I don't believe I've done over 15 minors, so I believe that'd be a pass, but when I look at the video I'll watch it back and double check. Okay, thank you for watching.